I am continuing with the chapter People as Resource, second part. In this particular part, I'm going to talk on classification of activities into different sectors, economic activities, division of labor between men and women, especially in Indian context, quality of population, and education. So first of all, let us discuss the topic classification of activities into sectors. So dear students, you must have seen various activities are being performed in and around you. Farmers working in the field, taxi drivers driving taxis from one place to another, doctors looking after the patients, etc. So all these activities can be broadly grouped into three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector, on the basis of nature of activities. So, what kind of activities are put in the primary sector? All those activities which are concerned with the utilization of raw materials from nature come under the primary sector. Or generally, you can say that activities which are performed in direct interaction with nature are put in the primary sector. For example, forestry, agriculture, poultry farming, fishing, hunting, etc. All they are included in the primary sector. Then secondary sector. Which kind of activities are included in the secondary sector? The activities which manufactures the finished goods, or those activities which uses the output of the primary sector to produce finished goods. For example, potato, which is a product of primary sector, is being converted into potato chips. So all those activities which are involved in converting potato to potato chips are coming under what is known as secondary sector. For example, say automobile industries, automobile production is going on, water bottling, construction, shipbuilding, etc. They are all included in the secondary sector. Then let us come to the tertiary sector. It is also known as service sector. So this particular sector provides services to general population and business. Which kind of activities are included in tertiary sector? Banking services, financial services, insurance facilities, investment, transportation, etc. So these are included in the tertiary sector. So services are known as intangible goods. So what are intangible goods? Intangible goods are those goods which we cannot see or touch. And there are tangible goods. What are tangible goods? Tangible goods are those goods which we can touch, which we can see. For example, mobile phone is a tangible good. Service of doctor, intangible good. So among all these three sectors, there are various activities being performed. And these various activities under the three sectors result in production of goods and services, thereby adding to the value of national income. So all those activities which result in production of goods and services, whereby adding value to national income, we call it economic activities. So economic activities again can be grouped into two: market activities, non-market activities. So what are market activities? These are production activities which involve remuneration to anyone who performs, or in simple words, activities performed for payment or profit. For example, say government services, services provided by shopkeepers. Shopkeeper sells good for what purpose? For earning profit. So market activity. Non-market activities, production of goods and services for self-consumption. Food cooked by your mom is an example of non-market activity because she is not being paid for cooking food in your house. So there can be other examples. If I construct a storage for myself for own account use, then it is an own account production of fixed assets. It is not for profit purpose. Therefore, it is a non-market activity. Now, you will find that activities are being divided between men and women, especially in the Indian context. Women, they generally look after household activities. That is, non-market activities generally are looked after by women in India. And sometimes you will find that because of low education, low skilled formation, most women are working in the less job security areas, and they are also being paid less if they are being compared to that of men. Now, men generally they work in the fields for earning purposes, and they are generally paid higher than that of women. That is happening in our Indian society. So now, quality of population. So what determines quality of population? There are certain factors like literacy rate, health facility, skill formation. These things determine the quality of population. What is literacy rate? As you all know, when I say literacy rate, it measures the proportion of literate population in the age group of 7 and above years. Health facility, generally it is indicated by life expectancy. What is life expectancy? Life expectancy is the number of years that an average person can expect to live. That is life expectancy. Then skill formation. Skill formation, remember, it can be acquired by giving training to the labor force. Remember, labor force is within the age group of 15 to 59 years in India. Now, skill formation is very important that budget 2020-21 allocated rupees 3,000 crores for skill development in India. So for the purpose of skill development, government has already allocated 3,000 crores of rupees. Now, education sector. See, education is very important. Why important? See, it is important for economic development, economic growth. It is not only a right, it is also required for proper performance of duties and proper enjoyment of rights by the people. It contributes to the growth of society. It contributes to the enhancement of cultural values, and also education facilities increases the efficiency of governance, and it also promotes what is known as cultural richness in the society. So let us see what trends are going on in our education sector in India. See, our literacy rate, our Indian society's literacy rate increased. If you compare with 1951, it was only 18%. In 2010-11, it goes up to 74%. However, there are differences observed across different sections. For example, male literacy rate 16.6% higher than that of female literacy rate. If you compare urban areas and rural areas, urban literacy rate is 16.1% higher than that of rural areas. And if you compare among the states, you will find the highest in Kerala, which is 94%. And if If you go to Bihar, then you will find that it is only 62% according to 2011 census, that is 2011 census. So what did the government do in order to develop the education sector? See, the government has introduced vocational streams in secondary education level so that our children can be fit into that area where she is suitable. The Because of that, the government has increased expenditure as a percentage of gross domestic product, GDP. 1950-51, 0.64% of GDP was spent on educational sector, and in 2015-16 it goes up to 3% of GDP. See, GDP, gross domestic product. What is gross domestic product? Gross domestic product is the sum of values of all final goods and services which are produced within the economy in 1 year. Now, with respect to this, the government budget 2020-21 proposes to provide about rupees 99,300 crores in the educational sector because it is very important to develop. So schemes like SSA, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, you must have heard about it. It was launched in 2001 to achieve universalization of education from 6 to 14 years. And then you must have heard about RAMSA, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. So it was launched in March 2009 to achieve the highest education rate in India. So these are some of the actions taken up by the government to promote educational sector in India so that our population, which is second largest populated country, our population becomes an asset for the economy and it will lead to development of the economy. So thank you.